want me to do the intro?
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
I'll do it. Hold on.
You sure? You don't want me to do it? It's been a while since I've done it.
Hey, you can do it. Yeah, it's been a while. You need to practice, David. I'll take the
All right.
back seat.
What is up, everybody? We are back. It's been a while. We've all been busy with our own jobs, but we are finally here with another review, specifically for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, as you've noticed, Bonnie Paul is still not here. We're trying to get in contact with him. I have no idea what he's doing, where he's at, who he's with, but yeah, we'll keep trying. But just putting it out there. So anyway, to start off the movie review, let's get with the synopsis. In Marvel Studios' Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, our beloved band of misfits are looking a bit different these days. Peter Quill, still reeling from the loss of Gamora, must rally his team around him to defend the universe, along with protecting one of their own. A mission that, if not completed successfully, could quite possibly lead to the end of the Guardians as we know them.
Oh no, not that.
I got it.
There you go. Round
All
of
right.
applause for David. And one take.
Thank you. So, I saw the movie 2 weeks ago on opening weekend.
Wow.
Let me actually ask, Claire, when did we? What day was it? Was it a Saturday or Sunday when we saw the movie? She's looking at her calendar.
Yeah, it's okay, babe.
Because I
When was
feel
that?
like we saw it on a Saturday. I think we saw it on a Saturday opening
You
weekend.
texted us. At 10 for
Let
us.
me actually check in our group chat. Because I remember I put it out there, but I don't remember when. Saturday, May 6th. Yeah, so I saw it on...
Oh, yeah, because we wanted to watch it at Universal, and then we didn't.
Oh, yeah, so we actually went to Universal that day, and we were thinking about watching it there, but the showtimes at Universal Studios, because they have an AMC theater there, but the showtimes there it was, like, totally booked out.
That's
so
actually kinda
we were
cool.
like, yeah, so we ended up going to the Grove, which is better because it was closer to Claire's apartment.
And
Check on my dog.
yeah.
Check on our dog to see that he was fine, and then we went off to the Grove. But yeah, so we saw it Saturday opening weekend, so it's been a while, but I feel like the movie's still pretty fresh in my head. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I just saw it 2 days ago, so it's definitely fresh in my head.
Yeah, so like, I guess, do you want to start off with like your first thoughts, or I can start off with what I wrote down? You can start off first since you saw it more recently.
Yeah, and I'll probably just take some of your thoughts. No,
It's fine,
right? I did enjoy it. I know we've talked about this. Like it was kind of like very Rocket heavy and just more his
Yeah.
background, which is nice because we don't know his background, so we actually got a glimpse into that.
Seeing Rocket's origins, it's like no spoilers, but it's very heartbreaking. And
Very.
also, like, you see those eyes, and it just makes me think of like my dog and everything. Like, it's just so innocent seeing young Rocket. They kind of showed these clips too, like leading up to the movie. You see Rocket and like his friends, because they're again, it's not really a spoiler, but like because they hinted throughout Rocket's origins, but he's like an experiment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like. So it's so heartbreaking to see him the way he's treated when he's younger.
Yeah, because when they mentioned before in previous movies that he was an experiment, you never really knew what kind of experiment he was until you see it right here, where it's like, oh, that is actually pretty gruesome, and you never think about it because you're like, oh, an interesting experiment, that's all. But
yeah,
it's bad. So it made me cry. Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, man. Like I was watching the guy that plays a High Evolutionary. He was also in
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. They asked him how he acted the way he did towards like young Rocket, and he said essentially when they filmed the whole thing, like he didn't really see what young Rocket looked like until like ADR, and so when he finally got to see what young Rocket looked like, he felt so dirty.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Like he said, like even his managers or like his reps couldn't look at him the same way for a bit because they saw like early edits of the movie.
Yeah.
He said he was very lucky to not have seen like what the character looked like until later, because when he was filming it, he filmed it with so Rocket, the motion capture and everything for Rocket is also played by Sean Gunn, who plays Kraglin. Yeah, he's also James Gunn's brother. But yeah, so he does the motion capture for Rocket as an adult, young Rocket. And he also does. I think they also mentioned he did a little bit of the voice work for young Rocket.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So seeing that, it's just so like I'm like just it's like when you see a puppy.
Oh
And
yeah.
you just all you want to do is protect the
Hmm.
puppy. I guess another thing we could talk about is the relationship between the Guardians and 2000. Technically, the Gamora here is from 2012, right? Because that's when Avengers came out.
Avengers came out in 2012.
I mean, my understanding is this Thanos is from 2012. I'm talking
Oh
about Endgame
yeah,
2012.
yeah,
He
yeah.
kills the Guardians. He's not Guardians. He kills the Avengers, and then he
Mm.
comes to the future, right? So I guess technically it's 2012 Gamora.
Yeah, technically 2012 Gamora.
It's an interesting dynamic between the Guardians and Gamora because it's not the same Gamora
No,
that we've known since Guardians 1 and 2.
that one
And
threw me because I low-key forgot. I was like, oh, that's how. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Endgame.
I saw an interview with the cast and I thought it was interesting because
Hmm.
Karen Gillan, I think she plays Nebula.
Yeah.
So she even mentions it, but it's interesting because again, not really spoilers if if you've seen Endgame or whatnot. With the way Nebula starts off and the way Gamora starts off, when the characters are like together
Hmm.
again, you basically have Nebula, who is in the position of Gamora from the first Guardians movie. Like her personality and
Oh,
thoughts are
yeah,
basically that of Gamora from when did Guardians 1 come out? 2014?
2013.
Let's look this up.
Yeah. So Guardians 1 came out when?
2014. Guardians
Really?
1 came out in
Damn.
2014.
Okay,
Yeah.
missed that one. Missed that one. So basically, Karen Gillian, Nebula.
Karen Gillan, who plays Nebula, basically says when Nebula and Gamora are reunited in this movie, based on their characters' mindsets and where they are in their lives, Nebula is in the same position and mindset as Gamora from 2014's. While Gamora, the character from the alternate 2012 version, is still in that is now currently in that mindset of Nebula from 2014,
Yeah, they
which
switched.
I can see it.
I can see it
Yeah,
too.
like personalities are kind of switched because Nebula is for sure is like she's pretty caring. She really takes a leadership role within the team,
Yeah,
and I like how she not contradicts, but she contrasts Peter Quill in this movie.
she does, doesn't she? I guess one could say that it's really the Guardians that change your personality.
Yeah, I really like how the Guardians, like Nebula, is now like really a part of the Guardians. She's like a part of that family of theirs, and it's interesting to see Gamora like on the outside.
It's heartbreaking.
I like their whole interactions with each other. They've showed the clip before, but that whole moment where Peter Quill is trying to talk to Gamora and they're in the spacesuits.
Yeah.
They have this whole contradictory thing about the color on the buttons on the suit.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Like it's just like so
And it was just
convoluted.
yeah, not coordinated with the colors on their suit.
There's a lot of death in this movie, right? There is a lot. Like I'm not gonna go into details
I
about
mean,
who dies or whatnot, but there's a lot of death, more than you expect in a Marvel movie.
technically,
If
yes, but it's not gruesome. Well,
True, but
some
there
are
is
pretty gruesome.
there is some gore in here. For sure feels more like James Gunn brought over some sensibilities that he had from Suicide Squad
I was gonna say
to a
DC.
degree.
Yeah, I think
So
it makes it more realism though.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
How much death and destruction there was in this movie.
Me
I was
neither.
very surprised.
Let's
They
go
do
through-
introduce some new characters.
Yeah.
So Adam Warlock, I noticed the flying sequence with him, like the way he flies.
Yeah.
It's very much like Black Adam,
What do you mean?
like with the camera up in his face, and he's like
Oh.
zooming through.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I was like, you can't really fly that many different times. But you're talking about the
Yeah,
shot.
I heard this in an interview. He's very much a himbo,
Yeah, more so than like Thor
or even
because-
Drax.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I don't know. That's hard.
actually, I want to stick on Drax really quick.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista, I think he gives one of his even though Drax is played kind of a bit like a dummy.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista, like there's a moment in this movie where I think Dave Bautista really sells it as
Oh,
like
definitely.
with like the heartfelt moments.
Do you think that's because he knows it's his last one, so he just wants to go out with a bang?
I think partially that, but also I think it's because Batista has grown so much as an actor. He had mentioned before that he didn't want to be in a movie with The Rock or John Cena, but that's more so because he didn't want to be seen as just a wrestler.
Right.
Right? He wants to be seen as a serious actor, like he can do multiple roles, not just play this one kind of character.
Definitely.
I think at least in Guardians 2014, when that movie came out, I do think James Gunn wrote the character so that it was easier for Bautista to play, to fit Bautista. But I think with his growth as an actor, James Gunn was able to write more heartfelt moments for him. Back to Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
He's basically kind of a Superman-ish character, but very innocent.
Yeah, he's definitely young and he's got the naivety going on for him. Doesn't know how the world works and he takes things literal, kind of like Drax.
Yeah, kind of like Drax, but I feel like he's more literal. I'm curious to see what they do with Adam Warlock. I guess the last thing we could mention is the movie itself is very character driven. At least compared to, if you compare it to the other Marvel movies that have come out so far in Phase 4 and Phase 5, it wasn't like the character was just there to lead you through a certain plot. It's very character focused. Like there's a reason. It wasn't to set up some other story.
Right, how much, the rest of the MCU is kind of doing already with, Kane.
We can go into what we would rate the movie. You saw it recently. What would you rate it?
I did see it recently. Honestly, I would go with a 9. I really liked it a lot.
I think, honestly, I might go with the 9, too. It's my first 9.
Right? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think, overall... overall with the movie, there wasn't much to criticize or anything like that. Like, it was fun. It was heartfelt, enjoyable.
It's great storytelling.
Yeah, it was very, and I also like the jokes, at least compared to Guardians 2, I didn't feel like the jokes were really forced too much. Like, do you remember the whole taser face joke?
Yeah.
Like, that was, I was like, I don't like this joke.
No, that was just trying to be silly. This is more, hey, we just gonna wrap this up nicely, neatly, and we'll just if we can make jokes, just toss it here and there.
Yeah. So overall, I really did enjoy the movie. Claire, what would you rate Guardians 3 out of 10? 9. So 3 9s.
Okay,
9 out of 10s. Yeah.
Right. Hey.
Also, I had mentioned this to Claire.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and not, again, kind of going off on a tangent, but I feel like, to a degree, James Gunn is our modern day Steven Spielberg.
Wasn't I the one who said that?
I think I mentioned it.
I thought I brought that up.
No, I mentioned it, and then you agreed.
That's hilarious. But no, I mean, I can see your reasoning behind it.
Because I guess the only thing is, he mostly delves into comic book movies, but he has touched on a lot of different genres.
Has he?
Yeah, he's done horror with Slither, I think that was what it was.
Oh, Slither? Oh.
Yeah, he did Slither. He also did, what's that one? It's like a movie, it's basically kind of like a Superman movie, but it's not Superman.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Brightburn.
Yeah.
So he wrote Brightburn. I don't think he directed it, though, but he's written, let me see, actually, because he's done a lot of movies. He also wrote Scooby-Doo, the original live-action movie.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, produced by James Gunn. Let's see, what movies has he... So, let's see, what did he direct? He's directed Slither, he directed Super, Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians 2, Suicide Squad, Guardians 3, and he's gonna do Superman Legacy, but he's also written a lot. So he wrote The Specials, Tromeo and Juliet, Scooby-Doo, Dawn of the Dead, which is directed by Zack Snyder. He wrote Dawn of the Dead. He wrote Scooby-Doo 2. He also wrote The Belko Experiment. So he didn't write Brightburn, but he produced it. I think his brother wrote it. One of his brothers wrote it. I just feel like a lot of his movies have been such huge hits. Like he knows how to touch into emotion and direction.
He's also very professional as a director and very I don't know the right word, but he treats the people that he works with respect, or at least it seems so.
Yeah.
There's so many actors who say oh, if James Gunn asked me to be in a movie, I would hands down I would do it.
That is true. Apparently, ever since he was announced to be directing Superman Legacy, it's the hottest thing in Hollywood. A bunch of actors want to get in on it.
Yeah.
So he definitely does bring a lot of interest.
He does. And I
Yeah.
mean, especially with comic books, those movies are really good.
Yeah, the fact that the man is now he wrote Superman Legacy and he's directing it now,
Yeah.
and based on how Guardians 1, 2, and 3 all played out, I'm very interested now to see what he does with Superman.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure.
So overall, I mean, I would watch the movie again.
I do. Yeah, I would watch it.
I even though it will for sure be on Disney Plus, I will probably buy the digital copy of this movie.
Ooh, well, okay,
What about you? So, like, I don't
know,
buy DVDs anymore because I have a Blu-ray player. I have a PS4 to play Blu-rays, but because I have a 4K TV, I don't have any like device to play 4K DVDs, 4K
Right.
or not DVD, 4K Blu-rays.
Mhm.
I just buy them all in digital now, and like on Apple, it comes with like the special like special edits and everything too on Apple.
Mhm.
So I just buy it all on there. But yeah, I probably will buy this movie on digital.
I don't know if I'll buy it, but it did make me want to watch the other Guardians of the Galaxy.
But yeah, that's our review, at least for now, until we start doing the spoilers.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, if sorry, that was my dog and he sneezed. If you haven't seen the movie yet, definitely go see it. It's a huge recommendation from us. Huge recommendation from Dr. Garcia over here. She gave me a side eye.
Oh yeah, she's a doctor.
Honestly, I think it's a huge recommendation. Definitely go see it in theaters. I think it's because we didn't get to see it in Dolby Atmos. The Dolby Atmos at the Grove was totally booked. So we went to go watch it in laser in IMAX.
Yeah, that was
it was still good, but I still kind of feel like Dolby Atmos would have been a nicer experience. But still, it was nice. It was good. Yeah, we overall, I think definitely go see it while it's still there. It's an experience, especially experiencing it with the room full of people in the theater.
Oh yeah.
I feel like for people who are fans of Marvel who have just been like having Marvel fatigue, I think Guardians is a good one to like see one last time.
Keep a lookout for our spoiler review. We'll probably have that recorded sometime soon.
Sometime soon and edited soon and posted soon. Hopefully.
Yes.
Cool. All right. I'll catch you on the flip side.
Later.